Today, guys, we are going to look at the MSR Pocket Rocket versus the Chinese-made BRS-3000 stove that is made in China. This stove here weighs 0.9 ounces, and the MSR Pocket Rocket weighs 3.05 ounces. So, a little bit over 2 ounces more. So I compared these two. I used a titanium Evernew pot, and I used my aluminum GSI Solaris pot. And what I did was I recorded the boil times between each one of these, and this is what I have. Okay. As you can see, the MSR with the GSI burned. My scale kept bouncing between 7 and 8 grams, but we'll go with the 8 grams. So I used 8 grams of fuel. To get to a boil, I used 2 minutes and 7 seconds to do this. With the BRS, with the aluminum, I used 11 grams of fuel, and it took 2 minutes and 30 seconds to boil. This is at room temperature. It's 70 degrees in here. The water's at room temperature, 70 degrees. I'm at 800 feet elevation, so your boil times will vary depending on how high or low you are. And then I did with the titanium pots. As you can see, I did the MSR with the titanium Evernew. I used between 8 or 9 grams. It kept bouncing again. So I would say 9 grams. Took 1 minute 55 seconds to boil. The BRS titanium stove used 8 grams at 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So depending on which setup you want to use can vary on which stove you pick. If you're using this GSI Solaris, which is a nice pot because it's aluminum, and you can cook out of this without your food sticking to the bottom. So if you want to cook out of a pot and clean it, and that's all you have to do, the GSI is definitely nice. The only problem is this weighs 8 ounces. The titanium weighs 3.75 ounces. You will burn your food in this. I've never been able to not keep from burning food in this. I have stirred constantly, kept on low heat, tried to use less fuel. Sorry about that, guys. My phone decided to stop recording for some reason, so let me get back to this. Yeah, I burn food all the time with this. So if you're just boiling water, this is the way to go. And I would go with this setup with the titanium plus the small little BRS, and that to me seems to be the winner. Now we will have to check with the wind test, because as it sits, there's no wind in this place. So right now the BRS with the titanium wins. If I'm going to take the GSI, I'm taking the MSR Pocket Rocket with me, because I can save 3 grams of fuel, so that'll save me a little bit of weight. But it's really not that much weight saved, because if I have 3 grams of weight saved, I can get, let's see, 12 and a half boils, because I got 1. Yeah, so I get 12 and a half boils per 100 grams with the MSR at 8 grams a piece. So between that, I'm saving 3 grams of weight. So out of 200, the bigger one, I can get 25 boils. This is all estimates, it'll change. The 3 grams, and if I use the BRS, I can get 9 and 18 per 200 grams. So difference is 7 boils, 7 days worth of meals that I can get extra. But that only turns into 21 grams of fuel that I'm going to have, about, savings wise. So I'll save about that much. So that's less than 1 ounce of fuel, 1 ounce of savings, and I have to carry an extra 4 ounces between the GSI and the titanium pot. Plus the MSR 2 ounces extra, so it's actually 6 ounces. So it's not really beneficial per se to take the extra weight for the savings. But if you want to go farther on boils, then yes, you can do the MSR GSI setup, and you can just carry the extra weight. Some people want the weight savings no matter what, and I can't blame them for it. And then some people's going to want the extra amount of days that you can get off of a canister. So it's whatever you decide you want to do. Now, I'm going to have to do the wind test. Now, the wind test could change the situation. Where I go backpacking, it's most time 8,000-9,000 feet, up to 10,000 feet, and there's always wind. So, if the MSR does a better job than the BRS, I'm going to have to take that into consideration. Is the weight savings worth it to take this? People have shown in reviews that the BRS doesn't do as well in wind compared to the MSR, and it's because of this windscreen that they have on the MSR. This kind of has like little vented, kind of turned little ports on it, so it kind of helps a little bit but not much. So I'll have to check that. And just taking a simple windscreen that you can put around the BRS when it's cooking will also help with the wind. So I'm going to test it without and with the actual windscreen to see if it's going to make a difference. So I will keep you guys informed. But as you can see right now, if I had to do with weight and the amount of fuel used, it's the BRS with the titanium for the weight and how much fuel you use. So if you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to post them. Thanks.